Why do I hear myself so loud? Oh well. Kind of my problem. I don't think you hear me double. No? Nope. So, today you probably noticed that there's a reference in the upper corner right there. And, yeah, I was, I had an kind of a really bad insomnia night the other day, and I ended up watching a really good documentary about Guedelon, and I really wanted to make something inspired by that. I don't know yet how I'm going to make this into a D&D kind of build, but I'm sure it will come to me eventually during the stream. Holy shit. Am I closer to my mic than usual, or what the fuck is going on? Let's move you a bit away. Now that's a little bit better, I think. I hope. Let me know if anyone's in the chat if it is good enough or not. So kind of what I'm starting with, the castle Guedelon does have a moat around it, so I'm kind of making something that could pass off as a moat. And then on the other... Oh yeah, I am on the experimental beta patch for the game. So we actually have a really good... I have a really, in my opinion, good idea of how to do the ramparts for the walls, for the... Yeah, castle walls, that's the word in English. Just filling this in so that it actually looks like a moat and not just a... Why is this not... Is it too close to the edge, or is it just too big of a area I tried to make? It might have been just too big of an area I tried to make. I was kind of thinking... Yeah, it was too big of an area. I was thinking of actually making it into a water moat, but I'm not sure yet. What's this? Oh, we can move the whole moat? I was not expecting that. I am... Okay. Sure, why the frick not? Can I... What does... Oh, so... I mean, I like that. I truly do. Yeah, symmetrical enough, good enough. Good enough for my purposes. Let's... This one, bring it up to the same level. Let's make this one really smooth. Yep. And get rid of these few trees so we can actually see what we're doing. No, I'm not going to bother. There's just going to be a really bumpy ride on the outside of the castle. Yeah, sure, why not? I might actually make... No, this seems like it's going to be too small to make a tiny little village outside of it. Or, well, I could, since I just learned that I can move these. Now there would be a little bit of room on this side. Yeah. Yeah, now... do I want there to be... No, let's keep this as a castle build and not bother with buildings on the outside. Yeah, that seems good enough. So the Guedelon castle, it's in France and it's a really modern castle. I don't... How big is the reference picture for you? Yeah, you can probably make out. It's actually being built. It's been constructed with the traditional way. There's no kind of power tools being used on it. There's no what are the words? No modern kind of concrete or... Click to start creating. Thank you. I am aware how stairs work. Unbelievable, I know. Let's just have a 2 for... Make it wider. And yeah, so what was I saying? The Guedelon castle, it is really been... it has been in the process for like 20 years. And I think it's just really cool how... Actually, what am I doing? Why am I adding this? Do I want to make it a little higher? I actually don't. Get back. But, actually, I wanted to show you, I had completely missed this last time, but we can actually add hand railings to the bridges, to everything. And, oh, we can actually make them color. Any color we want. Ooh. Ooh, what do we want to make it? Because, yeah, the documentary I watched was really, really informative. It was, hello. Thank you for lurking. You went out last night? Oh, I hope you had fun. But yeah, I also saw you were over at Kettle Quest's stream, so I hope you don't get overwhelmed with watching us both. Yeah, I wanted to try which one this one will probably mesh along more nicely, except it doesn't create stairs. I forgot about that. Let's try this. Oh, well, no, wait. I figured out the system 2 weeks ago, or when the fuck it was. Let's try. Get that on the ground. I haven't been in this. Oh my god. "15 minutes. 15 minutes, 16 minutes, whatever, when that I just forgot to change from starting soon into the game. Oh my dear. And now that I think about it, I actually forgot my water. I'm just... I don't know. I actually slept well tonight, so I don't even... That's not even an excuse today. So, yeah, we have a bridge. The bridge has stairs on the starting end of it. On the inside edge, there's going to be a gate. I'm going to probably be using the stair block to build it, and then there's going to be the walls around it. You can see in the reference picture kind of what vibes I'm going for, and yeah, that's probably it. Kind of going through what I went, or well, tried to go for without showing you. Yeah, I remember there was some kind of logic to which tower was which size and where exactly. See, the one that you see on the front right corner kind of is going a bit past the towers that are on the bridge, so that you have a bigger kind of sight line to shoot at the bridge, on the bridge, people attacking you. Whereas this one might not be as far forward, it just is. And it's a little bit smaller ones. There's going to be the main house. Now that I think of it, I could probably block these off before building the rest of the walls themselves. But I probably want it to be a bit wider, so let's add another one. So this is where the kind of lord of the castle lives with their family, and where kind of the main gathering hall, where the big I think the word is grand hall is. Is my stream a bit choppy, or am I imagining? Wait just a second. I'll try to talk to me. Tell me what's going wrong. No, it seems fine. Okay. Okay, I'm sure. I don't know what's going wrong, if anything is going wrong. But on the side of the Great Hall, there's the bigger kind of chapel, or well, tower with a chapel in it. I think there was in the documentary I watched there, they mentioned that the kind of living quarters for the Lord himself would be in this tower, and kind of the lower floor was the chapel. And then on this other hand corner, I have no idea what is going on there, or what should be going on there. Let's put it that way. It kind of is separate. I'm looking at the same reference picture on my phone because I don't have enough monitors. I'm kind of because I have like my streaming setup is weird as fuck. Let's be blunt. I have my gaming laptop. Yeah, it's a laptop, so by definition it has a monitor on it, but it's the only thing that only thing I see on it right now is the game. On my other monitor, I see like I have a small corner that I can't see because my gaming laptop's screen is on the way. And then I have my phone that I have a stream deck, a virtual stream deck on. And then I have my tablet where I kind of monitor the stream itself. But because I have OBS open on the other monitor, and I kind of need that to be visible, I have to use the what the fuck is it in English? Well, dual, and so that I have access to both the reference picture and the stream deck. I see both of them at the same time, but the reference picture is freaking tiny. It's, let's be honest, probably even smaller than the one on the... Why don't I watch it on my own stream? What is this brain fart I'm having here? I don't even know. I don't want to know. But let's see. Oh, I was thinking kind of doing the... Nope, not like that. Bring it upwards. Kind of, this is what I was picturing of doing to build out the ramparts. Was that the word I settled on? Kind of something along these lines. To make the outside walls, outside edges. I think that's going to look really cool. Yeah, I think it's going to turn out just fine. Can we? No, we can't edit the arches below the bridge itself. But as you can see on the reference picture, there's the kind of the main stone bridge that's kind of being built right now. And on the right side there is a wooden bridge. The wooden bridge, as far as I know, is more for the construction, kind of an intermediary bridge. It's not going to, it's going to get taken down after the castle is done. As far as I know, but what do I know? Not much is the correct answer. But let's bring these ones up a bit. I need to set up my own. If I adjust my brightness, does it actually do anything for you? No, thankfully. Yes. Now I can see things and you can see things. I hope. So that's going to be the main house, actually. Yeah, that looks like the straight edges on the outside are kind of what's happening in the real picture. And again, I'm kind of tilting my head to look at the reference picture on my phone. Why am I doing that? So do I just... I think I'm going to go for the walls now. Because the thing is, as much as I love this imagery of this castle, as much as I kind of got inspired by the documentary I watched, if this is going to be a D&D castle, kind of what makes it D&D? What specialty is there in this? Because I was thinking that the how do I explain what I'm thinking? Like magic, unfortunately, or thankfully, whatever your perspective on it is a thing in my and in most D&D worlds. So kind of, in my opinion, that makes a lot of things kind of irrelevant. Kind of what do you do with a bow and arrow if you can just call a meteor down from the sky? Like what's the function of a wall in this configuration? Kind of how do we make this more D&D? But I do like how the stairs are working for making this archway into the castle. I really do. Whoop. Why? Sure. Why not? Let's see. Yeah. I'll adjust the heights of these and the colors of this castle later. But yeah, the Guedelon castle actually is a really fascinating, because I had not even thought about kind of what actually goes into the building of a castle. They kind of went quite far into how perfect of a place like they had found for the castle, because Guedelon has a quarry close by where they're getting all the stones from, and that's kind of not obvious, but you know, and not necessary for each and single one castle, especially in the later centuries, but like for a medieval castle that's really important. There's in Guedelon, the quarry has enough iron content in it that you actually get iron for tools from the quarry itself, which is kind of extraordinary in my opinion, because iron is not the easiest thing to mine or find at all, and that's really cool. Was there a way to make this kind of a more consistent granulations? I don't think there was. Actually, let me see. If I make a square and make this thing have granulations, and then I erase a tiny bit of the wall, do these stay? No, they go to this texture. Okay, good to know. And then I can just delete the whole thing and continue on. Oh, what color am I making these? Which color is the wall? Is it the lighter one on the sun? Help me out. Let's turn it. Whoops. Wrong button again. I do this often. I just want to change the direction the sun is shining from, and I end up changing the time of day. No, stop snapping. There. I think those are the same colors. Yeah. Yeah, they are. I think so. But yeah, the Guedelon quarry kind of gets all the big stones, and there's enough kind of lime also in the same freaking quarry, if I understood correctly. So that's also extraordinary in and of itself, because that's how you get the mortar, that's how you glue the stones together, and that's kind of a rare find to find in the same place too, I think. And in addition to the iron rich quality of it, and then they also have the oaks that they used to build, and it's just wonderful how they managed to find such a place without a castle already. Yeah. Let's see, can I... Oh, the other way. Turn the other way. No. I should probably just make an edit point and actually move that one so it matches better. There we go. Now it's more along the lines of... I say that just as I figure that it's way off. Yeah. And it's way too high. There. That's actually looking like a wall that would actually function. Nice. On this side, I think this should be more of a straight line. Can I... No. Draw over left control. If I do this... Nope, it does not let me edit that thing. Unfortunate. Let's make this anyway. That seems good. Inside the actual wall, please. Thank you. And then another set of stairs-ish. It's kind of a weird thing. You have to actually... every other tool in this game, you kind of drag around. You click your mouse button and then start dragging, and then when you let go, it stops drawing the thing. But on the stairs, it kind of really wants you to just click on where you want to start it, let go, then press again to stop it. And it's kind of thrown me off every single time. Let's make this one a little bit... I need to raise the thing, but yeah, that's looking like a mighty wall. And then where's the... Why wasn't there... Where's this thing on this one? What's going on? What is going on? And then it's going to be a bitch. Sure. Why the fuck not? It's a slight bit too high up. Nope. Oh my god. You know, what I'm learning from this is that I do not actually want it to snap to the wall when I'm trying to get it to match other kind of curves. Let's make a edit there to get it on the inside of the walls. This one's probably the wrong color, isn't it? Yeah, it was. I really like this. And it's so much easier than it used to be. You kind of used to have to build it like a wall there and then a square or whatever shape building you wanted, and kind of move that along, raise it up, and just then edit it to be next to the wall itself. So yeah, I really like this thing. Why are you flying? Here we go. That used to be the way I made walls that kind of weren't fully... Well, what's the word? Actually, now that I think of it, it actually probably should be this kind of setup, because otherwise the wall is way too... what's the word? Narrow is not the word I'm looking for, but it's really easy to go through that. Is narrow the word? I think it is. No. Then again, that could be one of the adaptations for D&D world. Because what are you going to actually do with a... What's the difference between these two? It's just slightly higher. Okay. Well, yeah. kind of is the difference between a D&D world castle and a real world castle, because in real world you kind of have to contend with siege onagers and trebuchets and whatever else, but here maybe it's more for blocking line of sight for D&D spellcasters. So it's not actually that you want it to block a ton of stones that are hurled at you from an onager. That's way, each way, like hundreds of kilos. Maybe it's more that you want to just block anyone from seeing much inside, so that they can't target anyone inside with a spell. Yeah, I think that sounds reasonable enough for me. Why is this edge? Probably because this thing is in the... you know, in the moat. Can I, if I clip it and make it a bit higher? Yeah. You can see through the wall, but don't worry about it. There we go. There we go. Actually, now that I think of it, I think my... yeah, my title says it's going to be moody. Is this just a Halloween castle because of the fall foliage, or is this a moody castle? Let's try actually and see what we can do. Because now when you click on a filter, it actually stays on. Oh, apparently I was not... let's see, what does this look like? A bit colder. This is the original without any filters. And here, let's see, is this more moody? Nope, not much. This one? I think this is more like it. Yeah, see how the colors changed? That's cool. Let's actually also make it a little bit more like a night or evening kind of sun. And then I want to adjust the direction of it so that I actually see what I'm doing. And get back to it. It's kind of funny how when you're trying to make the stairs, if you just free build the stairs, they don't match the last color setting you made for them. But if you actually start building them so that you snap them into an existing building, it does take the color properties of it. Interesting. Interesting. And let's see. That is quite a straight wall. I'm quite proud of it. If only I could move it from straight above. Actually, I think that's remarkably good. A little bit higher. A little bit higher on this end too. Ooh, that's a good curve for it. Yeah. Tiny bit wider. Why is it not... oh, this edge is actually snapped into the building. Okay. Good to know. If one end is a free end, the move the whole thing button actually only moves the other end. That's kind of weird. I would still think that if there is a button to move the whole thing, it would actually move the whole thing. That's kind of kind of what I expected more, but sure. And this end is not high enough. What are you doing, game? What are you doing? What's going on? Oh my freaking god. Let's see. If I just... There. I won't touch it anymore. Thank you. Thank you very much. That's it. Yeah. I mean, is it the wall that's crooked or the ramparts? I think is the word for it. Yeah, sure. I'll let that be it. And then on the main house, there's kind of a... On the ground floor, there's a cellar that actually has kind of... that houses... What is going on? That is kind of cool, not gonna lie, but not what I was expecting to happen. Okay, sure. Let's see. This is what I was going to do. Let's make this wider. Hello. Hello. Lurking as well, preparing to get back to the city today. Oh, are you at the cottage or somewhere more exotic? Or summer cottage, I should say. Go to the ground floor and let's put a railing on this one too. There we go. Oh my god, that's so lovely and easy to do. Actually, what does the reference look like? Does it go to the edge? Yeah, it goes to this edge. Actually, no. Let me move the whole thing. No. Summer cottage, yeah. Okay. Let's see. Oh my god. It's really trying to snap someplace else, but I'm not letting it. There, or well, how big is the thing? Why is my chat not actually scrolling down so that I could actually see all of the messages you're sending? No wind and plus 24. Oh my god, that sounds horrible, to be honest. Oh my. Though, if I remember correctly, or well, are you at your cottage or some other cottage that I haven't visited? Because your cottage, I think, was relatively fine even in hot weather. It didn't get as hot as some other places I know, relatively speaking. Let's make this fill out this kind of archway that the game is trying to get in there. Oh, I kind of like the look of it, but I think this is better. Let's build it out. I heard a I heard a sheep pop out and start flying. Yours. Do I remember the house? The blue house. Blue house. Blue house. Wait. No, I do not. I mean, wasn't the main house blue? had the other one that was red, right? If I... Oh no, now they're snapped together. Oh damn. Because it kind of... it lost the edge on this side. Now there's no railing on this side. You can just walk up and just fall down like a lemming. Who remembers lemmings? How did I even do that? That's kind of extraordinary. How do I fix this? No, that's not what I want to do. Because I don't think I can, like, get these off each other. Right? Let's try this thing. Get them off. No, it's not letting the railing go on that side. Oh my gosh. The stairs do not cooperate. You're absolutely correct. No. If I move this here... Oh, what did I did not turn. If I now get rid of it and then put it back. No. What do you mean no? Do I really have to do that? Ah. Nope. I just have to get rid of the thing. Oh my god. And then try again. Actually, I'm going to take that away. White house with the red side buildings are current place. The blue main house. Oh yeah. I do remember the blue old one. Yeah. I do. I lost a necklace there the last time I was there, and I've been sad ever since. Not really. A little, but not that sad. I didn't know you still had the place. I thought you sold it or something. And that's why we kind of never went back. That seems to be the correct height. Let's move it in there. Let's make it a bit wider. And then try and put another... No! Why the fuck? Why is there no hand railing on this side? I just figured out probably why there is no hand railing on this side. This is kind of the place where you're supposed to continue because this is a pathway, isn't it? But I think there was a hand railing there. See? Now it has a hand railing. What's going on? Why is my... What? If I now bring it down, now it has a hand railing. What did I do differently? Blue one, you did sell it. Okay, yeah, I was there. So if you're there and you happen to find a gold snail on a chain necklace, do let me know. No, I don't want to move that. I want to move this edge. Why is this edge now not moving? Oh my goodness. I'm getting mad at a staircase. I think I should be doing something else for a few minutes. Let's insert this thing there. Ooh, now it has the arch. Yeah, that's a good detail. Yeah. Yay. We did it. But why is this thing now a French balcony? What? Oh my god. Let me add it. There. Tada. It's overgrown. Great. I am going to have to add a pathway, probably. I kind of like this smaller one, and then I got rid of it. I want the square door, but I don't want it to be covered in vines. Why is it still covered in vines? What is going on in my game? Please. Please move. Does it poke through the stairs? Nope. Good. If I now set it down? What is going on? What? Why? Why me? No. Seriously, just straight on top of it. If I take the door away, okay, it still has the thing. If I set it now, if it works, I'm going to be slightly disappointed. Thank you. Why? No. Oh no. Let's go. What in the reference? What does the upstairs door look like? That actually looks more like this type of a. What are you doing? Why? No. No, don't tell me it's because there's... Let's rewind a bit. Make all of this a bit wider. Take this thing, or actually make it go into the building more. This is just... Oh my god. Actually, can I just move this edge? Yeah. Yeah, and now? I mean, I can live with that. I'm going to tell myself I can live with that. I'm too mad at it to keep fiddling with it. It's a curve. Why is it a curve? It does not... Oh my god. And now it's even more of a curve. Probably like that, and that's going to have to be good enough. Oh my god. Yeah, okay. Let's start with the windows. And these kind of look like these double ones. And there's... Oh well, no, it doesn't. It's just the lighter areas around the window are this shape. Well, let's see. If I put two of these next to each other, and actually before I go any further, let's make these ones kind of that color. And hi, welcome Jorin. Nice to have you here. Oh my, I've been struggling with these freaking stairs, and I do not know if I'm actually getting mad at these, because look at this. I set it down, and then straight over top of it grows vines. I'm done. I'm moving on. Actually, yeah, that's going to be a problem. Since these kind of pieces overlap, they will kind of fight me on the windows. Let's move this edge and move this edge. Yeah, that's probably going to work better. And oh my, these vines. I wish I could turn these off somehow. Actually, can I? Can I? Can I? If I make this thing into a stucco wall. Let's see, white. And then pristine. Nope, that has no actual effect on the vines themselves. Sure, have your overgrown windows. I'm not sure what I can do about those. Let's see. That could be a design choice. Yep. And then one more pair of windows on this side. Yeah. And then there's one kind of alone on the edge. Does that look stupid? Yeah, it does. Ah. Let's separate one, add another. Do that sort of a thing. Let's move these closer together, maybe? Maybe then the vines won't actually grow over the thing. Nope, there they go. There they freaking go. Oh my dear God. And what does the downstairs... There's kind of these kinds of windows down here, but those are not freaking visible because of the vines. Can I... Because this thing doesn't seem to have any sort of a effect on the vines. No, I can pretty much delete the whole downstairs wall and it still is giving me the vines on top of it. Okay, sure. Why not? But this kitchen door seems to be a single kitchen door and a window right beside it. Yeah? Yeah? It's kind of looking like a... like the same castle. Like, right? Am I imagining things? Or is it kind of okay? I'm trying to wait for my stream to actually catch up. Yeah. Yeah. I mean... yeah. Actually, now that I think of it, I want to change the roofs into blue, because traditionally these would have been... What is the specific stone I'm thinking of? I do not know. In English, I do not know. Piikivä. These kind of wall tiles were either kind of burnt tiles, or they were natural stone. Flint? No. Is that a type of stone or no? Flint. Yeah. Okay. I was correct-ish. So, yeah, I think I'm going to go with that. Probably... I usually like, personally, to add a building or two inside a castle, but I... kind of let me know what you think there would be inside here, because this kind of castle, because you need already to have a smith, or you already have a quarry nearby, those, and a logging camp nearby, though, to actually build the castle itself, those would already be established. So those probably don't go inside. But what kind of this? I'm going to make it a little bit bigger. Stables. The warehouse would be inside here in the cellar part, below the great hall, below the this this tower is going to have the chapel in it. The door you see on the reference picture right here, actually, let's put that in already. That's going to be the door into the chapel. On the lower floors, these upper floors have the sleeping quarters, living quarters for the lord of the castle. And there's kitchens on this side, and this bottom floor is where you collect taxes and collect the kind of grain the peasants pay you for taxes. So that's this vine-covered door. So apparently we don't get enough taxes, or at all of taxes. But yeah, I could... The stable's probably here somewhere. And now I'm... Yeah, these kind of arches go... actually seem like they could be... Let's make it a dirt pathway. Yeah, whoops. Now there's a door to the outside. And then... No, I did not turn around. Something along these lines. Way down low. Do I actually make it so that there is no... Yeah, let's try what it looks like if I delete these two bits of it. Make it a bit higher so that I can bring the roof down lower. Move it up. And kind of something along these lines. Actually, I saw a really good tip on TikTok that I can actually just move the building out the way, and then we can actually build these. What are these? Stables, yeah, but what actually are these? Karsina. What the fuck is it in Finnish? Stalls. Yes, thank you. Thank you. You're actually making me have my sanity back. It has been a struggle. Oh no. And then let's make a bit of a wider path here. Actually, let's make it a... what's the word for it? Cobblestone. And then, if we bring this down... Ta-da! We have a stable. Maybe a little bit more on this edge. Ta-da! Good enough. Good enough for me. Then maybe... Actually, now that I think of it, even if I... We haven't really gotten a lot of props from these windows or anything else. Let's see. A bit more sun. Yeah, there's actually 0 props here. Where is my... Where's all my props? Let's... a lot bigger. This courtyard probably would not be paved, but I don't care. Oh yeah, we need to have well for water. I mean, what good is a castle where you can only defend it for 3 days before you die of thirst? Let's fill it in. So, actually, Georin, since you're here, any good ideas? Because I was thinking of kind of making this more of a D&D castle. Nope. That kind of means to me that I'm happy with these walls, even if they are paper thin on the outsides, because you're probably, this is more for kind of defending against line of sight spells, etc. So what else would we kind of, I'm happy mostly because I kind of really like this as a aesthetic choice. I don't want to kind of make these fully enclosed walls. Besides, this is a really poor demonstration of what I mean. But to me, this kind of seems boring. But what else could we kind of make to adapt this more as a Dungeons and Dragons or tabletop RPG kind of a castle? Even if it is very much inspired by real life castles. Let's see, can we... I kind of like the look of this, even though I can't see what the fuck I'm doing. Because the sun is in the wrong direction. Nope. Let's see. Probably a little bit smaller of a brush would have been better, but... Let me mull over it. Take your time. Take your time. Yeah, I kind of like this. If I kind of try to make random spots, it kind of looks like it could be a little bit muddy. Yeah. Yeah. A lot of mud where people usually are. It's kind of more an aesthetic choice. I kind of really like that. I think we're kind of remarkably similar to the reference picture. I think. Yeah. So, well into the middle here, or do we actually... I'm thinking about Hämeenlinna. In Hämeenlinna Castle, the well is actually inside the building. No, let's build it outside, because that's more fun. That I actually can do a bit, like, easier. Let's see. Whoa. That was not what I expected to happen. Let's see. First of all, let's make the edges. What color do we want our thing? That looks kind of too bright of a color for this thing. Let's make it green so that it's actually not the exact same as the blues in the what is this? Roof. Let's make it... I believe I can change the color of that. Yeah. And then let's bring it down. I'm going to need to delete the pathways below here to actually make it an enclosed circle. And then I can bring it down, make it way smaller. I kind of really like the stone kind of rim there, but it's apparently, if I make it any smaller, it's going to... if I just make this the smallest it can be. Now you want to see Hamel. It was really cool. We went with my husband, or well, yeah, good enough. We went through every single medieval stone castle or the ruins of here in Finland a few years ago. It was so yeah, we checked out Hämeenlinna and it was really cool. We went on a tour. I think that was the only kind of guided tour of a castle we went. Oh, no, I'm lying. We also had a guided tour at Turku. Yeah. By far my favorite one of those was Raasepori. Raasepori is the name. It's really cute. I don't think I've ever seen such a cute castle, even if it is in, you know, just a ruin nowadays. Let's add another circle. There's kind of a lot of circles here already. Let's make this thing have a square little roof on it. Let's make this into stone. Let's raise it up and make it like that. Yeah, the problem with medieval castles in D&D setting is the same one as in real history, once cannons become a thing. Yeah, exactly. And, you know, I think it's probably even worse in kind of D&D because, you know, if you think about it, you probably have had spells for as long as there's been magic. You know, offensive spells, I mean, kind of used in warfare. So, that's kind of a problem, to be honest. Yeah, kind of a major problem. It's actually... I do not know if there are kind of... Oh, I forgot. Would these have kind of doors, or do you have to go like through the inside of the castle to get up? Let's put a few doors. Oh yeah. There we go. If you were really being strategic, you would build something resembling bastions. Yeah. Yeah, you would. Yeah, I mean... That is... kind of... we are really in the heart of the problem, aren't we? Kind of... How do you make yourself happy with the choices of the design of a castle? Those are not the same height. Is that better? Yeah, it is. I mean, to be honest, even with this castle, it's kind of a... the design is kind of in the midway point. Kind of we're out of the Norman invasion time range where you actually just wanted to make a defensive war castle just full of arrow slits and no real windows that no one's actually living in. It's just for the sake of defending a place. And this one, we already have big windows because, I mean, if you lose these outer walls, you're already fucked. And someone is living here, so you want light to get in into the big grand hall. So it's kind of a balancing act, I would say. Anyways, to be honest, like if we think about the like a fireball or something else, you can just stand a kilometer away and just snipe people with a ball of fire that just explodes on contact that you can't really do anything about. So probably the correct choice would be to make these walls just impossibly high so that you actually don't have any sort of line of sight to the inside. Yeah, defensive spells. If you get some kinds of wards as standard fare in castles, you can claim that the castle is still relevant. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking. Like, this is specifically for, you know, infantry, especially cavalry, can't do anything against these walls, and the bridge here is easily kind of, you can shoot at it if you add arrow slits, and add the arrow slits in such a angle that you really, the only way you're shooting into the arrow slit is if you're on the bridge. And if you're on the bridge and you're shooting into arrow slits, you have 4 people shooting at you. So kind of that's kind of the only thing I'm actually happy with, that you don't even want to shoot to the outside or straight outwards, because then someone can snipe you back. But yeah, I mean, if you have the spells to have wardings or anti-magic or whatever that blocks things from coming in. To be honest, now that I think of it, wouldn't you anyways want there to be no magic in here? Like, if a peasant comes in and they're trying to pay their taxes, but they're making illusions, you kind of don't want them to make illusions. So it would kind of make sense anyways to have a, like, perimeter. Like, maybe the walls are just on the inside. There are just millions of little runes etched into here, just making it a fully anti-magic courtyard. That would kind of make sense. Why? The problem is then the cost. Anti-magic fields, etc. are really high level, exactly. So that's kind of the main gripe I have with it, with the idea. I just heard myself. I have my mic kind of looping back to me that I can monitor my mic. I heard my kind of a breath or a deep sigh, but I didn't sigh. What the fuck? I have a ghost here. Oh, I just realized this one is way higher. Yeah, that's the outside corner of this stable. anything, so I can probably... Nope. Oh, now there's fish. If you saw my Tiny Glade stream last week, this is fucking infuriating. I was clicking for 10 minutes on a window to get a box of fish, but I never got it. Whoops. Let's see. Actually, let's get rid of it. I kind of want there to be, let's see, tiniest little thing. That could actually be a plot point or lore things. Castles are built by people with resources, royalty, etc. And the magic wards are maintained by them. As time goes by, castles change ownership, and maintaining them is always reliant on the resources and priorities. I mean, you're not wrong. But then again, when you come across a castle, you don't know how good the defenses are. They could be really good or not, depending on the history of ownership. But that, I mean, yeah, well, war kind of has always been a knowledge question. How much do you know of this person, place, area you're attacking? So that kind of makes sense. This is the one I want. But at the same time, I kind of find that a bit boring. Like, or well, boring, and as a dungeon master, a really bad idea, because that means I would actually have to think about every single castle before and like really think about them. So maybe, but that also kind of, yeah, I mean, I have already said sometime like years ago that kind of the paladin organizations or religious organizations would then be probably banned someplace, because those people also get access to spells, and those might not be loyal to you as a... Why can't I click on the... There we go. Yeah. Because religions are also powerful, but are they that powerful? Do I want them to be powerful? Why can't I... Interesting. There's a tiny area on the stairs where you can't put props on. Good to know. Did it actually spawn two identical things at the same click? Yeah. A little chair. Let's put it recessed into there. Just for funsies. Because kind of, what was the thing? Because when you kind of think of it, there was especially kind of gunpowder and... Oh shit, I wanted the cart thing. The gunpowder thing changed so much and made so many castles very much irrelevant, because you could just go around them and you could just bomb them down or bombard them to rubble, and you really can't actually do much about it if depending on how big your castle is. But then again, you also have kind of sappers before that made kind of very much a distinct era in castle building. You had to make the sloped edges on the bottom floor, so if you actually dug under, that thing would collapse on you and then you can't dig any deeper. And kind of trebuchets kind of made the Mott and Bailey kind of buildings or castles very much irrelevant because wood does not stand up to war machines. So how old is the invention of fireball? Because then you can also kind of... Why can't it let me click on this? What did I do differently? Why can't I click it? Really weird. I have to right-click the whole building for it to let me have a go at the window itself. Really weird. But like, because we could always say that fireball was a thing that you used against wooden castles, and after everything returned to stone, then kind of fireball as a war spell became a little less relevant. And because it's less relevant, maybe people just don't go back to the old technology, like, you know. When did fireball become accessible enough for it to matter? I mean, that is a good point, but I've been kind of dumb and I've said out loud many a time that magic as a whole is accessible in my world. But then again, I've also said that in my world the war is not as big of a problem, or as big of a problem as especially. The fire sorcerer could have had fireball at the dawn of time, but when did run-of-the-mill wizards start lobbing it everywhere? What level is fireball? As a whole, we could also ask the question, how many mages does any military have? Like, because if let's say a military for a kingdom has like how big of an army, how big were armies in the Middle Ages? Like if you went to war, how big of an army do you muster, or how many armies and how big are they? Where do I want these? Probably here. Yes, some peasant is trying to pay their taxes in flowers. That sounds like a arrested. That sounds like you are going to get arrested for that. Could be up to hundreds of thousands. Yeah, exactly. Because that's the problem. In hundreds of thousands of people, there's bound to be a few wizards. And if there or well, tens of thousands of wizards. Or maybe not wizards, but spellcasters of some sort. You know, healing magic is also a thing you need. So how many wizards do you employ and how many wizards do you train? Because that's another kind of aspect of it. Like, you don't have to find all of them already casting third level spells. It's also a question of how many are you willing to kind of train to cast spells. How are we getting into this thing? Probably from under there. So maybe then this thing. Ancient Roman Battle of Cannae had almost 100,000 just on the Roman side. remind me which kind of war against who was. And where is Kane? Where did the opposing army come from? Or how far away did they march? I don't have a door on this one either. Let's make this into the wood thing. Against Hannibal, okay. Okay, so... Hannibal one, yeah. Was that the one with the war elephants? That came over the mountains? I need to make this into a path so we can actually see that there's a thing there. There we go, better. Because then we go again back to the kind of resource question of how many mages do you have and how many do you have at hand at any given time, and how many are you willing to kind of pay for. Like just because I find it really boring to have to think about economy every single freaking time. I know I know my expertise should be in thinking about the economy, but I don't want to. I don't want to think about capitalism every time I play a game. Why did I save that thing? Actually, why am I doing this? I'm trying to fish for another wheel. There we go. Kind of want a few of these. That's starting to look like a stable to me. Yes. This edge looks really empty, but what do I want to put there? Oh yeah, I haven't even thought about the freaking windows everywhere except these ones. Probably none on the outside, but... Or, well, on this side in the main house. Maybe some up here. But, like, you could also just get away with... How big of a spell is, like, counter spell? Or anything like that, because you could also just have, you know, a kind of stupid solution for a stupid problem. Just give a singular wizard as big of a window as it can get, and then just have like 10 of them in this one tower and have them all equipped with spyglasses, so anytime someone casts a spell directed at this castle, you can just counterspell the thing. And then you're safe. Is it easier? Dispel magic is 3rd level, so exactly the same level as Fireball. Yeah, I mean, yeah, counter spells needs the levels because it needs fees to get. Okay. But then again, like, if you also have a bigger level or higher level caster who casts the fireball does more damage, so obviously if it is easier to just keep... You're already paying the mage to know or get a fireball, so they would probably keep paying the dude to get just way more fireball with a single cost. So I think that's kind of the... Counters only spells below its level. The higher the attack in magic, the higher the spells needs to be. Yeah. But if you already know fireball, you are already quite high of a caster, so anything below a 3rd level caster is useless. Theoretically. I mean, and like then we could also think about the like wands. You had just outside of war, you have all the casters just make endless amounts of wands of fireballs or ray of fire or whatever, and suddenly there's everything is scorched earth. So I kind of like my idea of stupid, play stupid game, win stupid prizes. Just actually, this can actually be done really stupidly. Like, look at that thing. Already depends on how many higher casters there are in a group of people, exactly. Like, but like, to be fair, this is a freaking option. there is nothing stopping from like if you have resource problems at any time, the kind of casters are the last things you want to get rid of, right? Because they can do so much, and especially if you have a cleric of some sort, because those things can also actually with magic you don't even need the well, you just need one like level 2 cleric with create food and water, and you're fine for indefinite times, because I think that spell doesn't even require any material components. So you're fine for the most part in your castle, but you've had really bad luck and piss off the only level 10 plus wizard in your neighborhood, you're screwed. I mean, to be honest, like with this kind of fantasy settings, you're also screwed if you piss off anything that flies, anything that can like has a dig or burrow speed. You're pretty much fucked if anything has innate spell casting. So there's multitudes of problems. I mean, imagine just a single fucking hippogriff with a wizard on top. You can't do anything against that. You're just done. So maybe okay, hear me out. You can also go completely different direction. Maybe it's not about having wards or anything, unless you have your own wizard with a hippogriff. Exactly. So in other words, hippogriff breeding is a really big business. But hear me out. Maybe it's not about the manually placing and redoing and upkeeping any sort of ward, glyph, runes, or whatever. Maybe that's kind of part of it, but that's not most of it, because it's about the materials. Like we know, rules as written, lead is kind of a fucking end-all be-all victory condition. So maybe you just paint everything every few years. That thing can't be painted. but you paint everything in lead paint. And maybe you have some sort of a random, you know, dwarven crystal of some sort that amplifies how lead works. And then probably you can have, if you wish, some sort of a runes that make the material work well, like amplify it. So then it becomes more of a traditional real life kind of problem again. Then you need the war machines, you need the mechanical aspects of it, you need the infantry, you need the cavalry to actually break the paint off of your opponent's walls, or you need engineers to build the things. Maybe that's how we go about this. There's a gap there, remind me of that. And then that actually opens up quite a funny interaction. Like, imagine you're infiltrating a castle. You're trying to get through to the fortress, and you hire rogues, and the only job for the rogue is to scrape off enough paint that your magic and your ballistas and your catapults can do enough damage. And then oh my god, that's such a stupid idea. But then we're still kind of sort of screwed for, or is it kind of an enough of an anti-magic field that every fortress, by just by how much it's covered in paint, is just protected against magics within the courtyard too? Or do we then just kind of rely on there being enough supervision within this kind of gateway here, that if a peasant comes in with forgeries, not mechanical forgeries, but just illusion magics, trying to pay their taxes with illusion magic, that does it just stop here? Or does this have a wizard just watching through here? Probably not. Yeah, because that still leaves us with the problem that you're screwed if your opponent has a hippogriff. Oh well, maybe that's kind of a fun thing for it, because then you actually need the archers. A lot of archers. Those are your best bet to do anything. Yeah, that's actually, if it is paints and materials that are kind of baked in. Ooh, it could be the mortar. The mortar holding, you know, the whole freaking castle together. Maybe it's the mortar. Then you... What? There already is one? No, it's just saying it's too close. Is it? No, there was a... Hello. Nice to meet you. But like now, if it's about the mortar, if it's about the paints, if it's about all the other materials, in addition to the kinds of runes and the like, then if any spell tries to go through your little arrow slit, you're still safe. Now these people can shoot up here. And then probably another one, a smaller one close by, so they can shoot to the other end of the... Maybe just alternating the two block window and the 3 block window. That could look cool. Just aesthetically mostly. They should be further apart. Okay, let's move them. Probably something like that. Yeah. This is the main tower, so I'll let there be these size of arrow slits on here. Something along those lines. A little bit higher up. And then this one in this direction. This one a bit closer, a little lower down. I really like how these are kind of universal heights. These kind of... I think they're trying to be indicators of how big a floor is inside there. But I've been kind of using them very, very liberally for just aesthetic purposes. And here 2 were there, a 3 high one here. I hate these vines. But, actually, if it is the materials, that kind of brings up a nice question. Who controls it? Is it actually just a dwarven thing, and dwarves have mostly no use for it because they live, you know, underground? Or, so they're kind of selling it to everyone? Or... do you have to steal it? Do you... from others who actually have the funds to buy it from the dwarves? Does the material actually... is it readily available? Or, well, readily available is a, you know, relative term. Resource things or an alchemical thing. Ooh, I kind of like the idea of it being an alchemical thing. And just kind of... then we come... there's the kind of resource implication. Because if you have alchemists, you can have... Ooh, it could be that alchemy or alchemists pay their taxes. They don't pay in money. Alchemists pay in the resource. Original resource and a synthetic option invented later. Yeah, I like that. What is this little... what do I see? Ooh, oh. I didn't... the reference picture is not that big for you. I don't know if you can make it out. But on the left side, left back tower, first of all, it has a cool window. Probably not that big of a window. But there's a tiny little wood-covered... How do I make that? Kind of wood-covered walkway. It has a little roof on there. Kind of the little battlement is covered. Actually, can I... How do I make that? How do I make that? Because I really want to. Probably. Let's try. Let's try a pair of stairs. I'm just going to... these stairs have been a bane of my existence today. But... let's kind of... bring it there. Yes, I will bring it up at some point. But for now, let's just try and make it into a walkway. A little more up. I really hope this turns out. This is going to be fiddly as fuck. And it's the wrong color, I just realized. Anyways, because then I think I can just set up a... Let's pretend that's the same size or height. Let's make this one the correct color, and then let's add a wooden railing. Yeah. And then let's see if this works. Make it the smallest it can be. Make that a little less steep. And then move it on top. Kind of like this. And I need to make it a bigger circle. I wouldn't want it to kind of poke out on this side. I didn't take into account that it's going to do that. Oh, that's probably why. Let's make it into a wooden thing. There. And then make it smaller. Raise it up. No, it's kind of still. That's kind of infuriating. I mean, I can if I'm really feeling particularly... what's the word? Masochistic. I can do it with tiny little squares. Just something like this. Nope. And then just make tons of these. No. Don't snap down. Please. I could. Do I want to? No, not really. But I kind of like these railings, so let's make all of these have railings and then just figure out the edges as we go along. Oh no. Those are not going to play nice, are they? No, damn. I was kind of hoping. I mean, I still do like this. Let's see what happens if I... Yeah. I'll just add all of these railings here. And then... Do I get rid of this? I kind of really like it. Damn. Damn. What was that? What is it letting me... What is this? Oh, it's the bottom floor. Okay. That does explain. Yeah. We can just pretend that there's no fences there, right? I really want to pretend that there is no problems right there. It kind of looks stupid that there is no way kind of up on the ramparts. There should be like some way up, right? Like do something like this. Move it, move it. Let me click it. Thank you. I just realized that I'm going to run into the exact same problem, that it won't actually. It won't create a gap in the fence there. Can I somehow manipulate it into thinking that there should be? What is the smallest square I can have? This is the smallest square. Let's make it into this. Yeah, that's the same pattern, and then there. Let's see. If we just make this little platform here. Nope. That did not get rid of it. Oh my god, how stupid does that look? Oh dear. Like, it's really not... I mean, I think if I were to do it this way, that I snap it... Can I not snap it onto itself? No. Huh. Oh, that's probably why it's not working. Let's see. Nope, still not making an... That's dumb. Oh well. Let's pretend that every time you want to get in, you have to go in through the main house or in through the any of the towers. Let's see. Let's see. What else are we missing? I'm asking what else are we missing when I didn't even do the windows. Oh no. Hashtag what is ADHD. There we go. And probably, I mean, there would be space for one, but if I make it there, you probably won't see much out of it. That is probably the furthest in it can be. I mean, yeah, sure. Why the fuck not? But on the inside, we can have these nice windows. Maybe even a huge one. The Lord deserves the best light. I mean, we can also have them have a little balcony up here. I just deleted the door there, didn't I? Just a tiny bit. There we go. And then... that looks dumb. Oh well, let's see. Does it look any better if I add a door? Or well, a balcony there? No, it really doesn't. It really does not. Oh no. Yeah, I'm getting rid of it. So, any ideas? Any suggestions? Why is there a hay bale? Any suggestions as to what to put on the other side? Like right here. I feel like there should be something here. I mean, this is not a huge castle by any means, so I think this is more than enough space for the grand hall and the living quarters for the lord, the kitchens, and probably most of the lower floor here is the cellar. There's the stables, but what else? What else can we have here? I'm trying to think, what do they seem to have? There doesn't seem to actually be very much in the reference photo, but then again, the reference photo is of a unfinished castle with a huge hole in the wall. So, anyone other than the Lord's family? Barracks? Yeah. Yeah. What does that look like? Kind of. Probably just a maybe a wooden structured building. Let's see. This way. Let's make it... Nope, I don't like the green. It's actually clipping through the... Okay. Try to click it here. Yeah, that's better. I like the darker wood, and then I immediately realized that if I change that to the darker wood, I need to change every single railing too. Nope, no I don't. I don't care enough. Sue me. But a kind of a way smaller building with what? How many people do we need to live here? Because there's probably someone already living within there. Maybe, you know, the cook probably has a tiny little room in the back or something. So how many people do we need to house in this thing? Is it clipping through a little? There we go. I think one story would be enough. And then let's make a tiny little stone floor for it. Like that sort of thing. Ooh, that actually looks kind of cool. Can I make it happen on this side too? Nope. There. This edge is too low. So let's erase the pathway to get rid of the open floor plan right there. Maybe this side doesn't need any. It doesn't let me click on the thing. It is really not letting me click on the right building. Oh, here we go. Probably something like that. And then a little door. And a few windows. And it is kind of looking too small. Or is it? Yeah. Let me click, please. Is that a little bit better? Yeah. I'm kind of just wondering about the scale. Does it look too small? Still? It kind of looks a little bit weird when it's kind of this low on the ground. But I kind of don't want to make it a two-story building. Like this. Or, well, somewhere along these lines. You think it looks good at this size? Thanks. Let's keep it that way then. And then just add a ton of a door and a ton of windows. Somewhere there. Anyone who needs an actual room could have them in the actual castle house. Yeah. Yeah, something along those lines. Maybe a few windows on this side. Maybe even a double window on this side. Whoa! You bourgeoisie, you. I mean, can I have a... Yeah, I could have a shutter and these drying laundry or whatever. I kind of would want that, but that is not an option in these single windows. I kind of think they should be the smaller windows. Should they even have that many windows? Because windows are expensive as hell. And then again, we kind of went through with the conversation that the spells are a thing, so probably even the spells for kind of, you know, keeping a forge going easier or, you know, glass blowers glowing easier is kind of a moot point, but let's make them have a little fewer windows, something like that. Oh, it's going to bother me that these aren't in the midpoints of these sections. Like something like that. Yeah. And then there's a bench there. I kind of, yeah, let's put another one under those windows. There. Rotate it and move it below. Like there. I know. That probably is the worst place to put a birdhouse, but you know, it's cute as hell there. I'll let it be. Ooh, let's actually move this one into this little alcove. So this is kind of the place where the peasants smoke their cigarettes or whatever. You know, where the blue collar workers just spend time, I suppose. This is the stable area. Actually, yeah, let's make the master of the horses have their own little room right here. Is it actually against the wall? No, I think it is. And move the door there. And just the tiniest of tiny houses you've ever seen. Somewhere here, like this. Let's again raise it up from the ground. And give it a little bit of a stone foundations. It's going to show through to the other side, isn't it? This way it shouldn't. Yeah. The cutest little house you've ever seen. Do they even have a window? Maybe they could have the little this kind of a window. This there. I'm way too happy about that. Let's make this one this way. Actually, yeah, that looks good. And then we need smokestacks for a lot of these. And probably on this side, since the other one has the window. Probably a double here, maybe actually on the edge. I said the edge right here. What is going on? Why did the other one become so... What? Why is this not becoming like that one? What? Is it because there's pathways? What happens on this side? Huh. I have absolutely no idea why that is happening. I could just hope that no one notices. It's not like I stream this online or that I'm going to upload this to YouTube or anything. You know? We could just pretend no one sees it. Why is there a freaking... Get off. Maybe another one of these into the stable? Why is there a door? Just surprise full wall door. Let's get rid of just enough pathway to get rid of it. There we go. Actually, can I... Is this the smallest? No, this is. That does not look like a horse would fit through, so I'm taking it back. Yep. I think we're starting to have a castle. I'm still not... I haven't done anything with the windows on the actual towers. Do I want to? No. No, I don't. Actually, let's just adjust this one to be a bigger door. Maybe that thing. The vines here are just pissing me off. And I have absolutely no idea what I could even theoretically do to fix it. And that's probably the best it has actually been ever, so let's pop a tiny little window on either side. Maybe add a few more so that it actually shows through the vines that there are windows down here on the first floor or ground floor or whatever system you use. If I move these to the edge, do the vines grow over it? Yeah, they still do. Well, let's do something drastic like that. Ooh, actually, I can make this a window like that. And suddenly the vines are not growing over it. Okay, sure. Yeah, whatever you say. Whatever you say, game. What did I do differently? Why is there a pumpkin? Probably next to the hand cart. Yeah. Do we want the other scatter? Yeah, I did save these for some reason. I think I had a good idea what to use any of these, but I do not remember what it was. Actually, there is kind of a fun way to use the new stair things, because the building blocks, this is the smallest you can make a building. So even at this size, that's really big, but if you use the stairs and then, oops, make it the same size or height, lower it down even more, and then narrow it down, it can really be the tiniest of tiny tables you've ever seen. And these things do interact with the scattered terrain, so we could make details that way. But I don't think I want to. I don't see the reason to actually make any permanent or permanent-ish kind of furniture outside other than the benches and whatnot. So I think I'm good. Let's start clicking and see if we find something we haven't used yet. Actually, we don't have any of these crates of any sort. That is also probably a really bad, like, imagine the humidity in that alcove right there, or any of the alcoves on the wall. But let's say they're temporarily. What the fuck? I can speak. I think sometimes might be able to. Not sure. Ooh, this bench has. Oh, I didn't know that's an option. That's cute. Yeah, let's replace this one. I don't think I want that many more kind of benches around, because I don't want to encourage the peasants loitering or anything. But I really like the basket on it. Yeah, it's a new thing. I don't think I've seen any bench that has a bucket or anything on top of it, so that's a new feature. Good to know that that's also, I mean, we're in the beta, so kind of anything is subject to change quite rapidly, probably by the next time I'm playing this. There was a bucket. Nope, let's not. I know there is another version of a tools. Tools could probably go in this table. Like somewhere around here. But I know there is another version of the barrel, so that's probably something I'm looking for. And not much else, I think. Otherwise we're quite good or set. I'm really happy about the tip that you can just... There's another barrel. You can just lift up a building to build inside of it. That was a really good tip from TikTok. I'm just saving things. Ooh, flowers. Would the lady of this castle love flowers? I think I do want to add some flowers, like probably here. That would be really cute. I know there's also a sunflower, so I'll just add another one of these and then a sunflower. I just realized that if I add a sunflower right in the middle, that's also going to be very much more phallic than I intended. But let's see if we can find... There's the sunflower. But I think there's a red flower pot that I haven't seen yet today. I mean, we could also put a pumpkin in the middle of the flower pots. There's the red flower. Haha. I knew it. Still a bit phallic. Maybe this way. And have these on the edges. And then probably rotate it so it doesn't look as copy-pasted as it was. No, let me click on the flower pot. There we go. Anywhere else I would want the flower pot? Like, this is an area I could actually use the stair trick. Like, just make the smallest possible stair. I know there is a way. It seems to only have one edge, so let's actually make a stair that has two edges. That way. Turn it around, move it about. Now that is also kind of weird. That it's kind of these these are different scales. What the hell? Why are they such a different scale? Let me move you. Like these stone stairs are just they don't go up at the same rate as these ones that you build a pathway up on. Oh no. It's not that visible, is it? Oh, let's pretend it's not. Like now we can actually set a prop on it, and if I put this like here, I can probably make another one and set it on this side. Yeah. That's actually cute. And I want to move the flower pot, please. Thank you. There it is. I did say I wanted another barrel here someplace, but where did I want it? That's probably good enough. Baskets and buckets. Do I actually want baskets and buckets anywhere? Not really. And now that I think of it, let's just get rid of them then. What else? We have a few hand carts, we have goods, we have flower pots. Just in spite of myself, I'm going to add a sunflower somewhere. Maybe in this corner. Facing outwards. That's cute. That way that door matches every other door. I just had the... I really just had a second there where I wanted to make the whole castle pink. How pink could I even make the castle roof? I have the options of red and purple, so... And the walls, could they have been purple? No, blue. Blue, pink and red. No. I don't think I want a monochrome castle. I think that's probably going to be it for the castle. Opinion, do we want water in the moat or no? We could also add just a ton of plants. Ooh, do we want a secret passage? Now that I said it, I kind of want to make a secret passage, but I don't know where I would set it. Or how, for that matter. Because, actually, now that I think of it, if I do make a water moat... Ooh, that's how I can... Yeah, but here, if we make a... Oh, what does this look like? We could just make a little shallows area where you could theoretically just walk away from the castle that way. And then a tiny little pathway to it, to and from. Yeah, I said at the start of the stream that I don't really like putting water in moats because that's kind of a rare thing in the medieval era, because, you know, this just begs for disease. Oh, there's fish. I don't remember there being fish. Oh my god, that's so cute. Anyways, yeah, so kind of the water was absolutely not the norm. So, I don't know if I like that. But I do like the secret pathway out of the main castle, though. Actually, it should probably be on the... from the corner tower there, because I said that's where the Lord actually lives. So let's make that a thing. Actually, can I... if I kind of move this tower around a little... Well, it got rid of my door, but... maybe we can work with that one. Then we can fit a tiny little door right there. And then we can build the pathway. Let's just make it somewhere and then add the water. Whoop. Did it actually make anything worse? No. I'm perfect and nothing went wrong. Why do you ask? Anyways, let's continue. Probably like that. There. We have a moat full of water. Let's actually move this one onto the land. Yeah, it actually looks like a castle. And then let's make this path bigger. And just a path of dirt. No cobblestone this side. I'm trying to get rid of the singular flower that's just refusing to leave. Oh my god, the vines over the freaking doors. Yeah, that's going to have to be good enough. Oh, if I just keep building the path, it actually grows out of the water. Good to know. But something along these lines. And then just feather it out. Because I don't think if you have a secret passage, it's actually not probably going to be pronounced. It's probably not going to be used a lot. Because if you use it a lot, then everyone is going to be aware of you sneaking out of your castle and they will know that you have a secret passageway somewhere. So yeah, let's get rid of this thing first. And then get rid of the basket someone's left right there. A tiny bit of stairways there. I mean, I would so much like for the stairs to actually interact with the ground better, because as you can see, like if you build on top of a building block, it actually generates stairs or, you know, a curb for the thing. But if I make this thing lay flat on the ground, and then build a path on top of it, it just will still have the curb. And I kind of wish it didn't do that. Actually, which is more legit? To have a just blunt end singular curb that you have to go up on with a cart or whatever, or just having the kind of landing on it. Like if it wasn't as actually that's not that bad. Oh, whoops. Let's move that up. I don't want anyone to go diving because they want to see what is written on the way sign. Actually, that's not that bad. And if we actually make it kind of a fancy entrance, fancy tile work. No, that's kind of the wrong direction. I should have checked that. I know that the game has kind of a universal direction for this scallop edge cobblestone. It's always, it doesn't matter where you build it or which way you start or where you end, it's going to be the same way or oriented the same way. So if I wanted to have that at the edge of this path or this bridge, I should have checked which direction it went. Oh well. Just a little bit of a cobblestone landing. I haveth arriveth. Welcome. welcome. Wait just a second and I'll show you what I've kind of got here going on right now. Ta-da. So, we have a castle. Just yeah, we've kind of went through with Giorin a little bit about how warfare kind of works in at least my D&D then, so in Dunia. And we kind of came to the conclusion that like the walls and things are reinforced with a little bit of rune work to prevent anyone from fireballing your castles, and in the materials there's going to be like some sort of alchemical or a natural ingredient or material that actually kind of acts like a tiny little amplifier for lead-based paints to prevent magical damage a little bit. And yeah, we have a castle. And behind the castle there's a tiny little secret pathway through this door, so in the worst case scenario the lord who lives in this tower can actually sneak out. No fireball bullshit, sad wizard noises. I mean, yeah, but if you can just win a war, just scorch the earth with just foregoing any kind of what's the word? Infantry, if you don't need any infantry, or if you just need to, you know, breed griffins or flying horses, it's just boring, in my opinion. So that's kind of the solution we came to. Like, you need mages and wizards in kind of field battles, in you know, army versus army, but castles can still be important, and you actually need mechanical war engines or war machines to actually take over area kind of permanently. Actually, now that you're here too, we have a little stable down here, and the stable master's house is right there, the little one-room thing. This one is for kind of everyone else who lives at the castle, but isn't as important to live in the Great Hall and the Lord's apartment. So do you have anything that you would kind of add to it? Like outside of the castle, as you can kind of see in the reference picture, yeah, right above my head, there's kind of, as you're building a castle, you kind of already need the lumber camp, you need the quarry, you need the smith to be outside of the castle already, probably in the village where most of the workforce is. So that's probably not going inside here. This is not a big barracks. There's not going to be a legion that's kind of camping here permanently. So like there's a tiny little anvil for if you need to shoe your horse, but like for me it seems slightly empty, but I don't know what else to add here. But aside from that, I think I'm starting to be very much done with this. Actually, the water needs to have a way in and out. I don't know, like, imagine if you had to actually, like, carry the water here every single time you need to fill it up again. And that would be a nightmare. Like, what's your job? You live in this Lord's castle, or you probably work there, right? Yeah, I do. I carry buckets of water. You what? I carry buckets of water. Okay, do you work in the kitchens? No, I just carry the water. To what end? I fill the moat. like, imagine if that was your job. Imagine. That would be just sad. Oh, did this become two different hills now? Or no? No, it's still... Huh. Imagine that. Oh, actually, that's probably what could make this a bit better looking, in my opinion, if I just... let's make it a square. And just add a tree. Like that. Maybe a bit more centralized, but you know. There's an idea. Oh, it got rid of the tree. That actually looks really good. How did you end up inside? Wasn't the sheep... No, this one's still stuck here. Actually, I do know these things can walk on paths. So maybe I can save... Nope. Do I want to save a sheep? How badly do I want to save the sheep? Shave the sheep? That... I mean, shearing is a thing, but... Maybe I'll just leave it. Yeah. Let's try and walk through... Oh. That thing, poor thing, does look stuck there. A little walk through the castle probably will be fun. That's not centered, but let's not talk about that. The stable, one of the watchtowers. I think I have too many doors in the watchtowers. Anyways. The workforce's lodgings. The chapel would be inside that tower in the corner. This is the kitchen door. The door to the cellar that's overgrown, and we would keep our tax, kind of whatever we collected in taxes, like flour and bread and whatnot there, but apparently it's overgrown with vines, so we do not get any taxes apparently. This is the main door to the grand hall, and on the other edge in the tower on the upper floors, the lord themselves would have their apartments. And yeah, we have a lot of things waiting to be put inside. We have a firewood with kind of dwindling little supply of it. We have hay for horses, a little anvil to shoe the horses, and yeah. Have I forgotten any house that needs a chimney? This one has, that one, the main one. Yeah, I think we're quite good. Yeah, I think I'm going to be happy with this for now. I'll probably take a ton of just pictures for the sake of taking pictures and using this in D&D, but thank you everyone for being here, and I hope if you're new here, please follow me if you liked what you saw here, and I think I'm going to find someone to raid and spend a little time in their chat and then just hop off for the night. Thank you so much for being here, and I'll see you next time. Bye!